Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. My name is Troy, and my goal with this series is to show that no matter how much or how little money you make, anyone can invest. If this is the first time you're hearing of this series and you want to know what it's all about, I'm going to link episode 1 above my head so you can get an understanding of what I'm trying to accomplish with this portfolio. That first episode is going to explain things like why I picked the stocks I picked, how much and how often I'm going to be investing, and the overall goals of the portfolio. Once you're caught up there, feel free to watch the other episodes in order to watch the natural progression of the portfolio, or just come back to this one to see where I'm currently at. With that being said, if you're already caught up and you're here for your bi-weekly update, let's get to it. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all a quick refresh from the last episode, the balancing effort for this week's update, an updated look at the portfolio since the last video, the all-time best and worst performers in the portfolio, my projected annualized returns based off of the current returns, any dividends received since the last update, and any news or things of note in the portfolio. Now, without further delay, let's get a quick reminder on where we left off at the end of last episode. And look in here, you'll be able to see a quick screenshot of where we left off at the end of last episode. You'll be able to see the stocks I own, how much of them I own in shares and cost basis, and the goal was to try to get each of them to $45 or 8.33% of the total account. Down here at the bottom, you can see that I had a previous account balance of $533.69. Next up, I wanted to show you how much I had to add to get each of these positions to the $50 mark with this chart right here. So you guys will be able to see all those tickers, the goal of $50, the current amount is where it was at the end of the last episode, and the amount to goal is what I needed to add to try to get it to that $50 mark, keeping in mind that we're not going to probably hit $50 on the dot, but we're going to try to get it as close as possible. Up here in the top right, you can see starting weekly cash. The $4.17 is extra cash from money that doesn't invest, even though I ask it to, and the dividends and interest received so far. So I had $64.17 to spend to try to get me to $50 in each position. And you guys can see right below that, the remaining cash after the buys I completed on May 22nd was $3.52. So that's going to be left over by the next time I add my cash. All the buys were completed on May 22nd. So next, let's see what that did to the portfolio with the portfolio update. All right, and right here, you'll be able to see the current status of the portfolio as of close of market on May 22nd. Again, we have a goal of 8.33% per holding. And you guys can see I'm pretty close to $50 in all of these positions, which is actually really refreshing to see. I'm actually at $50 in 2 of them, ALG and STLD. So that's perfect for me there. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I can't really control whether it does hit the 50 or doesn't hit the 50, even though I'm literally adding the amount of money to get it to 50. So you do what you can. The current new balance, if you look down here at the bottom, is $600.87, and that's 18 weeks into this portfolio. So next, let's take a quick look at the best and worst performer in this portfolio. So looking here, you'll be able to see that CSL is still my current best performer. That's up 16.72% or $8.31. And I have a new worst performer, and it's not because I had new stocks catch up to how bad my last stock was doing, but KNSL was last week's worst performer, and that one's actually rebounded a little bit. So my new worst performer is ODFL. That's down 15.38% or $7.68. Overall, let's look down here at the bottom to see that this account is down 13 cents or 0.02% in the 18 weeks that I've had the account. And I want to show you what the projections of that looks like annualized. So you guys will be able to look at this chart I made right here that shows the progression or regression in this case of the account. If anybody that's in the market knows, the last month and a half, 2 months has been a little rough in the market. It's up and down, up and down. And we're actually starting to get a nice rebound here recently, and my portfolio shows that as well. So you guys can see in episode number 8, I was a total gain and loss of $5.23. Or 1.1%, but then that goes down to, I was a negative $6.96, $6.96, or negative 1.3% just last week, and now I'm only a negative 0.02. So I had a really good rebound in this portfolio, and I'm looking forward to that continuing as the markets do well over time. So obviously stay tuned for that, and we'll see how it goes. So next up, I actually wanted to show you the dividends received in this account since the last update. So right here, you'll be able to see that on May 9th, I received 4 cents from MasterCard, and I'm not reinvesting any of these dividends right now because I don't want the portfolio to get even more out of balance than it already is. So I'm just adding that amount to the cash balance, and then we're going to use that money to disperse throughout all of the portfolio to help me keep it where it needs to be. In theory, by the end of the portfolio or by the end of the year, I'm going to have a decent amount of cash to invest, and I'm going to just do one more bonus investment, if you will, into all the companies of however many dollars, split evenly. So anyway, getting back to where we were. So on May 15th, I received my second dividend, which was from AbbVie, and this is my biggest dividend yet in this portfolio. AbbVie paid me 31 cents on May 15th. So I want to add all these up and everything else I've received in May to this point and put it in my monthly tracker that I share on my overall portfolio and show you guys the progress of this. So right here, you'll be able to see down here, look at Q2 May. We're up to 37 cents in May, and we had 45 cents in April, which gives us 82 cents for the quarter. And we still have the rest of May and all of June, obviously. And look down here at the bottom, we hit our first milestone, guys. We had $1 in total career dividends received in this account. So that's really, really cool. So next thing I wanted to show you, which I thought was really, really interesting, is the remaining dividends or lack thereof, plot twist, for the remainder of May. So looking right here, you'll be able to see the calendar of where we currently are. So the 22nd, that's why it's black, is because I'm recording this on the 22nd. Hopefully I'm going to get it out on the 22nd too. We'll see. So, but you'll notice that I have an ex-dividend date for the 17th that already passed. I can click on those in the app and see it, but you guys can't see it. And then the same thing for the 31st. I have another ex-dividend date. But you'll notice, hey, Troy, you're supposed to get paid weekly on this portfolio. Like, why are there two empty weeks here? Well, the idea behind the portfolio is to get you paid weekly, but you'll notice obviously Dillard's and MasterCard paid the same week. AbbVie paid the next week. I think it was in April. I got paid 7 times, including the interest payment. So that one, if you don't want to count that, whatever, 6 times in 4 weeks. So it kind of just pushed everything back. And then in June, it'll be the same kind of thing. It'll be like extra payments. I'll get paid twice in 1 week from, 2 different companies. So it's kind of par for the course. I'm a little upset with that, but I will have an interest payment to report on the next episode. And then we'll obviously get the May totals and round all that up and see where we're at compared to April and compared to, what would that be, February from the second month of the first quarter to see how we're growing the portfolio. So definitely look out for that and stay tuned on that for episode 11. So that's going to wrap up today's Anyone Can Invest portfolio update. If you like the idea behind this series and think other people will too, make sure you do your part and share this with others to help spread the word that anyone can invest. And if you want to make sure I know how much you love this series, make sure you leave a like, as that tells me I'm doing a good job on these videos. And then also, if you have anything to talk about, anything at all dividend related, leave it in the comments down below, as I'd love to chat it up. And if you happen to miss my portfolio recap that I put out just under a month ago that tells you everything I'm doing in my own portfolio that I'm going to use to retire early, check that out right here. But until next time, see ya.